Hey guys, I'm not even gonna bother trying to deny it here, but today it is Monday, April 13th, 2020, and for today's weekly roundup video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit here in front of a fire. So basically, this will be like the fireplace channel on your TV, except you get to sit down and listen to me talk and have a fire to look at the same time. Hopefully you enjoyed that better than the fireplace channel, but if you don't, I totally understand. Alright, so obviously last weekend I decided to scrap my plans for the weekly roundup because truth is I was working on the What Is Known So Far video series about new NHL uniforms for the 2020-21 NHL season. So when I snap my fingers, we're going to pretend that this video was filmed on April 5th, 2020. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, if you couldn't hear that, I'm sure you get the point. So we're going to pretend it's April 5th, 2020, and I'm filming this weekly roundup video actually on time, which I'm not. Excuse me. But anyway, we're going to pretend this video was filmed on April 5th, 2020. And since there's only a few people likely watching this video anyway, I might as well have a little bit of fun with it. And, we'll play the game of make-believe and pretend that we're filming this video on April 5th, 2020, when I know we're filming it on Monday the 13th. Works for me. Alright. So, for the purpose of this video and how I'm only late by 8 days, plus I'm overdue on my weekly roundup video for this week by a day. I'm not going to get that video done until at least tomorrow or Wednesday. Oh well, I'm sure you guys like the idea of 2 videos within a few days anyway, especially under the circumstances where, because of this pandemic, we are not really supposed to be going out and doing anything. And there isn't really anything to really do, which is really unfortunate. So, but anyways, I thought I'd add this video in. This video is probably going to be shorter than my average weekly roundup video, which is about 20 minutes to a half an hour in length, more like 25 to 30, let's be honest. But I'm going to try to keep this video within 15 minutes. If I go a little bit over, then whatever. I'm not worrying about it, but I figured I'd put this little bonus video here for you guys here together for you guys to watch. So you can just watch as this little fire that I'm enjoying right now peters out and just becomes nothing more than a bunch of coals sitting there slowly burning themselves out. So in terms of what I'm going to discuss in this video today, I'm going to talk about the fact that what I was going to talk about on April 5th was the fact that, from what I've heard, thanks to the hockey guy for doing a video on this, but he did say that supposedly the word on the street is that the NHL has looked at neutral sites for NHL games to try and not only resume the 2019-20 season, but to somehow find a way to magically conclude it properly, which would be damn nice. And even as somebody who does not follow basketball, I would just love to see the NBA somehow find a way to conclude the season properly with a champion. But as I say that, though, I'd rather everybody be shut down than have an even bigger and more awful outbreak of coronavirus than what we've got right now. So, anyway, I mean, if we have to shut everything down for a while and even delay and potentially cancel the 2020-21 season for a lot of different sports and stuff, then I'm all for it. It is what it is. If it has to be done, it has to be done. I'm willing to wait because, you know what? I just don't want to see anybody get hurt and get sick and potentially lose their lives over a virus if it's even at all preventable. I mean, this situation really sucks, so I'm hoping that everything's going to be coming to a head in terms of this pandemic soon, and hopefully it'll peter out like this fire, and hopefully we will be able to go back to normal as a society again. But if we can't, we can't. And honestly, I'd rather wait another year if I had to, or even a little bit more than that, to make sure that this coronavirus pandemic is over, than have everything, whether it's professional sports or society in general, go back to normal and have more people come down with this and ultimately die. I mean, what's happening with people losing their jobs and everything is absolutely horrible too. I mean, this is a devastating virus. This pandemic has just been awful. I mean, seeing the amount of people laid off of work, seeing places, and the fact that a lot of places are likely gonna close down because they couldn't make enough money to survive, because they couldn't work due to this pandemic. I mean, it's devastating. There's a lot of people out there that live paycheck to paycheck. And, you know, it's really difficult, and it's really, really unfortunate what's going on right now. But if we have to delay professional sports to make sure that we can end this pandemic, and we can make sure that when society does go back to normal, that people won't get COVID-19 and we won't have another mega wave of infections like we've had, I'm willing to wait. And I'm sure most people are understanding too. I mean, even at my work, I work in a retail type job, and you know, a lot of times people have to wait in a big lineup outside of our store waiting to get in. And when I say to people that, hey, can you please line up? I really appreciate the people who have been willing to be compliant and have been so understanding and so polite and friendly about it. I mean, the fact that a lot of people are really taking this message seriously and taking this seriously, it really puts a smile on my face, because that tells me that people do care. And we need to care. This virus affects everybody, young and old. And sorry to be going on about it week after week, but it's true. I mean, it's devastating, and we've got to do our part and make sure that we keep our safe space and our social distancing. And we make sure that we only go to work and go out in general only if we have to. So, you know, the only time I go out is if I have to work. That's basically it. And you know what? If that's what it takes to get rid of this, then we got to do what we got to do. But, you know, I must say, would it ever be nice to somehow find a way for the NHL, and I've also heard that Major League Baseball has supposedly, I don't know if this is true or not, I'm sure it is, but I've heard rumors that they've looked at some spring training sites like Arizona and Florida as places to maybe try and at some point have games played in front of empty little stadiums. I mean, if any league, whether it's baseball or NHL or the NBA, can somehow get things back and figure out a way to safely start their campaign and finish off this season, I mean, that would be incredible. But as I said earlier, I mean, if it's not safe to do so, then obviously it's not going to happen, eh? And you know what? Under the circumstances, I'd rather it get canceled than have more people put at risk of contracting COVID-19. But I must say, though, I mean, I do miss having something to watch on TV, sports-related, on a daily basis. You really don't realize what you have until it's taken away from you. So, you know, I must say, I do miss watching sports on TV. Hell, I would even watch tennis right now if there was an opportunity to watch it on TV and if they could safely put tennis events on. But, you know, obviously right now it's clear that they can't. And you know what? I understand. That doesn't bother me. I totally understand it. But yeah, I mean, even the NHL, if they could find a way to put all the teams together at some site of some sort and stay there and somehow find a way to miraculously finish off the 2019-2020 season with the Stanley Cup champion, that would be so cool. But you know what, guys? I hate to be that guy, but I would not be the least bit surprised if we find that the NHL and the NBA and maybe even Major League Baseball all get canceled this year. It kills me to say that, but it would not surprise me one bit. But I must say, if they could find a way to finish their campaigns, their seasons in neutral sites, oh my God, that would be amazing. And you know what else, guys? With most people having to stay home and collect EI, at least that's what we call it here in Canada, employment insurance. I don't know what's called in places like the United States, but I'm sure they have some type of employment insurance too. I know they do. I just don't know if it's got a different name or it's called the same thing. But anyway, for all the people that are staying home right now and being literally forced to stay home because of this awful pandemic, thanks to COVID-19, if there was some type of sports that could be played on TV, I think a lot of people would be very grateful. But as I've said numerous times already, right now it's clear that it's probably not safe enough to do so. And you know what? I'd rather everybody stay home with no sports than put more people at risk of contracting this damn virus. But yeah, no. The idea of having a sports league finish a season at a neutral site, I think that would be great if they could somehow work out the logistics of it safely. Now, some people have suggested that, well, what if we can't finish the season? How do we award a winner? Well, in my opinion, if you can't have a proper playoff format or playoff tournament of some sort to decide a proper winner, then you got to cancel it. Because in my personal opinion, I don't think it's right to just give a random team a trophy because they had the most points at the time the season was canceled because of COVID-19. It kills me to say that. I'd love to see a champion for the 2019-2020 season, for the NHL, for the NBA, for Major League Soccer. And well, they have a 2020 season because they play in one entire calendar year, just like baseball. But my point is that, you know what? I don't feel it would be right to just give a team a title based on the fact they had the most points when the season was canceled. I think that if they do resume, they have to have some type of playoffs to determine a winner properly, at least in my opinion. And if they can't do it that way, then I think they should just cancel an entire season and just put on your respective trophy, like the Stanley Cup or a pennant or whatever, like in baseball. You put down that there was no winner in the record books. And under the circumstances, this isn't some stupid lockout. This is a pandemic. And if it's got to be done, it's got to be done. It's just that simple, at least as far as I'm concerned. But I think we can all agree on one thing. The lack of sports on TV really sucks. And I've also, when I was going to actually film this video on April 5th, because remember guys, we're pretending this video was filmed on April 5th, wink wink nudge nudge. I know that the XFL was sadly canceled entirely, which is just absolutely horrible. For the record, now jumping back to April 13th, 2020, I do know that sadly the XFL has been shut down entirely and people that have been laid off, which is just brutal. That sucks. Please, if I do forget to do a video about it in the next 2 weeks, please comment on a video and say, hey Rockzilla, can you please do a video on that? You did say you were going to do it. Please remind me so I don't forget, if I do forget. So if by the time April 20th comes around and I haven't done a video on the XFL being shut down yet, please just send me a comment or talk to me on Discord or Facebook or wherever and say, hey, don't forget to do a video about the XFL. If somebody could remind me, if I don't have a video for it made by April 20th, I would really appreciate it. So if I don't do it by April 20th, which is a week from today, then please reach out to me, whether it's Discord, my Facebook page, or here on one of my videos on YouTube. Just send me a comment and I would really greatly appreciate it. But my plan is, for anybody curious, to get the video made within the week. Now, since I did say the video would be about 12 to 15 minutes in length, I'm basically a little bit north of 15 minutes. So, like this fire that you can see here that's now starting to peter out, it's having its one last little smoky hurrah, as you can see. What I'm going to do is now, I'm basically at the point where I can let this video, like this fire will be doing soon. Actually, it's really picked up a little bit, surprisingly, but not that it matters. But, you know, like this fire will be doing in a matter of a minute or two, I'm going to basically let this video peter out as well. And what I will do now is I will wrap up this video. It was a shorter video, but I just wanted to give you guys something a little bit extra. I thought that would be good. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this if you have sat down and watched it all the way through. And as always, you guys, until my next video, take care. And as usual, folks, bye for now. And remember, please stay safe, wash your hands, keep your distance, and only leave your house if you have to. Anyways, guys, I hope you all stay healthy, and until my next weekly Roundup video or any other video in general, as I always say, folks, take care, and as always, bye for now.